It's natural to want to sometimes wait in a particular task, so there are different ways of doing it. You've already seen me using thread.sleep, so let's take a look at that. So let's make a new task where I'll once again just define a lambda function. So if you do thread.sleep, that basically just pauses the thread of execution, but it's not just that. Not only does it pause the thread of execution, it actually tells the scheduler that we don't need the processor time anymore. So the scheduler can get another task executing as you sleep, which is great. It's great for the purposes of efficiency, because then you can get some other work done while this chunk of work obviously doesn't want to get itself done. But there are different ways of waiting on a task. One of those is using spin waits instead. So you would have something like thread.spinwait, or you would, for example, call spinwait.spinUntil. So these two options are, I'm basically describing them for completeness. Spin waiting means that you also pause the thread, but there is a different rule here. Essentially, you don't give up your place in the execution task. So essentially what's happening is the scheduler isn't going to get some other task executing while you are spinning. Instead, you're basically wasting CPU cycles, but you're not giving up your turn in the overall execution scheme, which means that on the one hand you're wasting resources, obviously. On the other hand, you're avoiding context switches. So if you need to wait just a little bit, then spin wait might be more efficient than thread.sleep. Now there is another way in which you can actually pause the task, and that is waiting on the cancellation token. So this is a bit more complicated. Let me illustrate it with a bomb disarming example. var cts equals new cancellation token source. I'll get the token var token equals cts.token. So I have the token now. I'll specify that token in here. And now what I can do is I can give you exactly 5 seconds to disarm a bomb. So let's play this game. I'll press any key to disarm. You have 5 seconds. 5 seconds. And then remember that wait handle that we talked about in relation to the token? Well, we can use it again, but instead of just waiting on it infinitely, we can wait on it a finite amount of time. So I can say, for example, token.waitHandle, waitHandle.wait one, and I can provide a time span timeout or the number of milliseconds. So if I want to give you 5 seconds to disarm that bomb, I'll put 5,000 in here, and you have essentially 5 seconds to press a particular key. Now I'm going to console.read key here, and once you press that key, I'm going to cancel on the token. So I'm going to cts.cancel like so, and that means that the wait handle will in fact give you some sort of result. Now, which result it gives you is a bit problematic. How do we know if the whole thing got cancelled or not? And the way we know is if you look at the signature of wait 1, you'll see it returns a boolean. And that boolean indicates whether in fact the token was cancelled. So we can say bool cancelled equals token wait handle wait 1. And we can say that if you did in fact cancel the token, then the bomb has been disarmed, otherwise the bomb explodes. So let's right line this part. So if cancelled, then we say bomb disarmed, otherwise we say boom. Okay, so let's try this out. So I'm going to execute, and let's just wait 5 seconds, and you'll see the bomb explode. Okay, so we have 5 seconds to disarm the bomb. I'm not going to touch the keyboard, and here is the explosion. So we didn't do anything. However, if I now execute this, and I do in fact press a key. So if I press a key right now, then the bomb is disarmed. So essentially what this means is that you can take the token's wait handle and you can basically wait for cancellation a certain amount of time and then check whether in this amount of time did someone actually cancel or not. And if they did cancel, then you get a true. If they didn't cancel, you get a false, and then you can respond to that. So that's yet another way of actually waiting inside a task.